Turn to your neighbor and tell them to listen to this point. And turn to your other neighbor and tell them to listen to this point. What has happened to us, church? Why do we do what every person says that stand behind the mic without investigating the fruit first? Now, I know the truth may hurt and this may cause some religious bubbles to burst, but instead of getting excited about the glory of God, we'd rather be entertained like human iPods, touched by everything that make love to our five senses. You see, if it sounds, look, taste, smell, and feel right, it must be right, right? Wrong. Just because you get all tingling on the inside when someone is singing and preaching doesn't mean that they're anointed. It just means that you're more emotionally inclined to base reality on how you feel instead of the truth. See, because when you go to the grocery store and purchase a piece of fruit, you pick it up and you examine it, right? To see if it's rotten, right? But even though we're called to do the same thing to every person that stands behind the mic and proclaim and speak on the behalf of God, we don't because of our need to be entertained. We continue to sit back and eat rotten fruit. When will we stop buying preachers that are expired? But if you don't study to show yourself approved, it makes perfect sense for you to approve of any and every food that preaches heresy, sprinkled with a little truth. See, because sound teaching doesn't seem to matter anymore, right? Just as long as they can preach good, right? Hand gripping the mic, screaming all into the crowd, breathing all hard, in between every word, like he's having a heart attack. While the organists and drummers are already in position to play the soundtrack to this spectacle we like to call worship. But even the Apostle Paul said that his preaching was void of persuasive and clever words, so that the listener's faith would not be based on human wisdom, but on the power of God. What has happened to us, church? There are preachers and prophets in pulpits prophesying off of prophecies that prophets mean nothing. They preach no correction, no rebuke, no call to repentance. They just talk about a new house, a new car, and more blessings, and even more reasons not to submit to the will of God. And you wonder why your ears can't stop itching. Because your body is infected with sin, and Jesus Christ is your prescription. But instead of cleaning out the old man residue with Q-tips covered in conviction, producing repentance, you'd rather hide behind your religious facade because you can't stand the master's witness. These men have pasted cotton balls all over their gray furs just to fool the masses. As a matter of fact, some of them are your pastors. But you think that they're sheep, but inside they're ravenous wolf with evil eyes. And don't blame the wolf for biting his prey, Little Red Riding Hood. You were the one that let your discernment cease. They say, I speak cause, you say I receive. They say I speak houses, you say I receive. They say I speak healing, you say I receive. God says, die to yourself. You see, it's crazy. It's crazy how the highest praise is only sent up when our flesh is getting pleased. Whatever happened to sincerely falling down on your knees? But we'd rather throw up our hands and puke out unknown tongues without an interpreter, even tell us what spiritual door the tongues broke through from. And no wonder unbelievers can't see the truth. Like Stevie Wonder staring at the lie detector test results. Because without order in the church, the blind stay bound and confused. And they will never be able to see God because the one that's being exalted is you. So loose yourself from that noose saturated with religion. You're knowingly dangling from the trees of the Pharisees. And many of us have become comfortable in our religious traditions and superstitions, and we remain enslaved while proclaiming that we are free. Get on your knees. Put your face to the ground where all you can see, hear, taste, and smell is repentance, and be willing to discard our religious chains and trade in our quarter dimes and nickels for true change, because our Savior is came and he's here to set the captives free.